Have you ever stopped to think, where would vampires settle in Chicago? Probably not. For decades, Americans have been interested in vampires. TV shows, games, movies, books, all focus on the Eastern European character. What if, given this rising popularity, vampires suddenly became interested in the US? What if vampires decided to settle in Chicago, a global city with easy connections to their native Europe and many other regions offering a world of possibilities? Where would they settle? Let's find out. Let's think. What would attract vampires and what would drive them away? Vampires need a steady supply of food. In other words, blood. Cemeteries to hang out in and rest with new vampire friends, and late-night bars to suit their nocturnal lifestyle. They very much dislike churches and the overuse of garlic in Italian restaurants. They would need to figure out where these places are in the city of Chicago and find the delicate balance between their likes and dislikes. Here we see the distribution of blood banks in Chicago. Vampires obviously need nourishment just like anyone else, and the best place for that is a blood bank. Unfortunately for vampires, blood banks are only located on the northwest side along the highway, on the west side near the highway, and downtown. There seems to be no blood banks on the south side. While that's great for south side residents in case of a vampire invasion, it is not so for those who really need access to blood banks. We'll come back to this later. Next are cemeteries. Similar to the blood banks, the cemeteries are isolated to a few sections of the city where land was available early on in Chicago's development, further limiting a vampire's option for relocation. Finally, we have the late-night bars. As nocturnal creatures, vampires need late-night entertainment. These bars are mostly found downtown and on the north side, probably due to the proximity of Wrigley Field and a concentration of other entertainment activities where you would expect a younger population to live. Now for some of the vampire dislikes. Where would humans be safe in the event of an invasion? One such place would be near churches, and we can see here that Chicago provides a safe haven for residents pretty much throughout, save for a few pockets here and there. Of the 5 criteria we've selected, churches are by far the least concentrated. However, Italian restaurants follow the same pattern as the bars. Highly concentrated on the north side and along the highways, it seems that where the vampires might find their late-night entertainment, they will also have to fear the possible garlic attack. Okay, so we know the locations of all the vampire-friendly and unfriendly places in Chicago. So let's find the places most likely to suffer in the event of an invasion. We can create buffers around the locations of all the blood banks in Chicago. As we move away from the blood banks, the color shifts from green to red. The greener the area, the higher the likelihood a vampire will be willing to settle there. This puts the north and northwest sides at a higher risk of invasion. Now we'll overlap that buffer with one for cemeteries. The threat remains concentrated within the north and northwest sides. Finally, we have the buffer for bars. The north side is looking like a popular spot for vampires to conspire. Of course, not everywhere is vampire friendly. Thanks to Chicago's diverse ethnic mix, we have a lot of churches ready to serve as anti-vampire havens. Here the color gradient is inversed, so the closer we get to a church, the less vampire friendly is the area. Here is a buffer for Italian restaurants. As much as the north side looked like the perfect vampiric headquarters, it also is home to many of the city's Italian restaurants and their impressive garlic defense. And we found them. The best locations for a vampire attack are shown in green here, right on our north side. Still littered with Italian restaurants, the area provides the best opportunity for vampires to relocate and take over. With the promise of parties, however, comes the dangers of pasta, with garlic, of course. This is a humorous take, but you can actually do a very similar spatial analysis to study more serious topics, like market analysis for the location of new businesses looking for proximity to labor and customers, while either staying away from competitors or building into a specialized commercial area. Spatial analyses can also be used to show, just as we did, disparities in the distribution of resources, services, and businesses across different areas. Many career opportunities use geographic information systems, or GIS for short, and other forms of visualization to show spatial data in meaningful ways, to assist the private, public, and non-governmental sectors make decisions for the populations that they serve. Thank you for your attention, and if you're interested in learning these visualization skills and how they can be used, feel free to contact UDVL at uic.edu.